Welcome to the wild, where survival is a daily battle. In the murky depths of rivers and lakes, a true master of the ambush waits. This is the world of the crocodile, an ancient predator that has perfected the art of hunting over millions of years. They are not just animals. They are living fossils, perfectly designed for their environment. With eyes and nostrils positioned on top of their heads, they can hide almost their entire body beneath the water's surface, becoming nearly invisible to any unsuspecting prey that ventures too close to the edge. Their patience is legendary, as they can remain completely still for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to strike with explosive force. The crocodile's strategy is all about conserving energy and launching a surprise attack that leaves its victim with little chance to react. When an animal comes to drink, the crocodile explodes from the water in a blur of motion. Its jaws, armed with dozens of sharp conical teeth, are not just for biting. They are designed to clamp down with incredible pressure, holding on tight. This bite is one of the most powerful in the entire animal kingdom. Once it has a firm grip, the crocodile uses its immense strength to drag its prey into the water, where it has the ultimate advantage. This is the moment where the struggle for life truly begins, a dramatic contest between predator and prey. In the water, the crocodile is king. It uses a terrifying technique called the death roll. By spinning its powerful, muscular body over and over, it can disorient and drown even large and strong animals. This maneuver also helps it to tear off manageable pieces of meat from its catch. This combination of stealth, patience, raw power, and a deadly finishing move makes the crocodile one of the most successful predators on our planet. It is a creature that demands respect, a silent and efficient hunter that rules the waterways and plays a crucial role in its ecosystem, shaping the lives of all the other animals that share its habitat. These incredible predators don't just hunt small fish or birds. They are capable of taking on some of the most formidable animals in the world. From the powerful big cats of the Americas and Africa to the largest land animals on Earth, the crocodile is fearless when it comes to securing a meal. We have been lucky enough to capture some of these breathtaking encounters on camera, giving us a rare glimpse into the raw, untamed nature of these life and death struggles. These moments show us the incredible power of the crocodile, but also the amazing resilience and strength of the animals that dare to fight back against this aquatic titan. Deep within the emerald labyrinth of the American rainforest, a silent drama unfolds. Here, the jaguar and the caiman, two apex predators, move through their domains, each a master of its own element. The air is thick with tension, the only sounds the distant calls of birds and the gentle rush of the river. The jaguar, cloaked in dappled shadows, is the embodiment of stealth. Its golden coat, marked with rosettes, blends seamlessly with the shifting light of the undergrowth. Every muscle ripples with silent power as it glides through the foliage, paws barely making a sound on the damp earth. Its jaws, capable of crushing bone and shell alike, are the tools of a true ambush predator. In the water, the caiman reigns supreme. Its eyes and nostrils break the surface, scanning for movement, while the rest of its armored body remains hidden beneath the murky current. The caiman's jaw snaps shut with a force that can shatter bone, and its thick, scaly hide is a living shield against attack. When these two titans meet at the river's edge, the atmosphere crackles with anticipation. Each senses the other's presence, one through the vibrations in the earth, the other through the ripples in the water. The riverbank becomes a battleground, a thin line where jungle and river collide. Here, the jaguar's patience is tested against the caiman's vigilance. Both predators are drawn by hunger, by the need to defend territory, or by the simple urge to cross into the other's world. Every encounter is a high-stakes contest. The jaguar crouches low, eyes locked on the caiman, calculating every movement. The caiman, sensing danger, tenses its body, ready to lunge or retreat in an instant. One misstep could mean death for either. Unlike the roaring charge of a lion or the coordinated ambush of a wolf pack, the jaguar hunts alone, relying on absolute silence. It moves with ghostly grace, each step measured, every whisker twitching as it gauges the wind and the distance to its prey. The jaguar's attack is a masterpiece of precision. With a single explosive leap, it aims for the back of the skull or neck, its jaws closing with surgical accuracy. The result is instant. Prey is dispatched before it can even struggle. This deadly technique is what allows the jaguar to target even the formidable caiman. Few predators dare to challenge such a powerful reptile, but the jaguar's confidence is born from generations of successful hunts. In the wild, the jaguar's prowess is legendary. Footage reveals the big cat's patience, hours spent waiting, muscles coiled, eyes never leaving its quarry. In one unforgettable scene, a jaguar slips into the river, its body gliding through the water with barely a ripple. The caiman, basking on a sandbank, is oblivious to the silent approach. The caiman's eyes are half closed, soaking in the sun, unaware that danger is closing in with every heartbeat. The tension is palpable. The jaguar's muscles tense, its gaze fixed, every instinct focused on the perfect moment to strike. Suddenly, the jungle explodes into motion. The jaguar launches itself from the water, a blur of muscle and fury. With a mighty leap, it lands squarely on the caiman's back, claws digging in, jaws seeking the vulnerable spot at the base of the skull. The caiman thrashes, but the jaguar's bite is unyielding. In seconds, the struggle is over. The caiman's power no match for the jaguar's lethal precision. Even the caiman's armored hide cannot save it from the jaguar's crushing jaws. The river's ruler is dethroned in a matter of moments. Victorious, the jaguar drags its heavy prize into the shadows, disappearing into the green maze where it will feast in solitude. The jungle reclaims its silence, the only evidence of the battle a few scattered ripples and the fading scent of predator and prey. In this moment, the jaguar stands as the undisputed master of both land and water, its dominance etched into the memory of the jungle. Yet the outcome is never guaranteed. Sometimes the caiman senses the ambush, twisting away with a powerful sweep of its tail, jaws snapping in defense. When caimans gather in numbers, their collective strength becomes a formidable barrier. They form a living wall of armored bodies, each ready to defend the group. In these moments, the caiman's confidence grows. They move as one, their eyes alert, their bodies poised to strike at any threat. A lone jaguar, no matter how skilled, can find itself surrounded. The hunter suddenly the hunted as jaws snap, and tails lash in a desperate defense. For a young or inexperienced jaguar, these encounters are a harsh lesson. Overconfidence can lead to disaster, and the jungle shows no mercy to those who misjudge their opponent. In the chaos, the tables can turn in an instant. The jaguar, once the silent shadow, must fight for its life, surrounded by snapping jaws and the raw ancient power of the river's true rulers. In the dense, humid heart of the jungle, where the river carves its way through tangled roots and thick undergrowth, a jaguar prowled silently along the muddy bank. Each step was measured, its golden coat dappled with shifting sunlight filtering through the canopy above. The river was alive with movement. Schools of fish darted beneath the surface, and a group of caimans lounged in the shallows, their eyes just above the water, ever watchful. But the jaguar's attention was fixed on a much larger prize. Lurking near the far edge of the river, a solitary crocodile basked in the warmth, its armored body half submerged, tail flicking lazily in the current. The jaguar's muscles tensed as it slipped into the water, barely making a ripple. Its eyes narrowed, calculating the distance, the depth, and the crocodile's position. The air was thick with anticipation, the only sounds the distant calls of birds and the gentle lapping of water against the shore. With a sudden burst of speed, the jaguar lunged, aiming to catch the crocodile off guard. Its powerful paws sliced through the water, claws unsheathed, jaws parted in a silent snarl. The crocodile, sensing the disturbance, reacted with lightning reflexes. Its tail whipped around, sending a spray of water into the air, and its jaws snapped shut with a thunderous crack, narrowly missing the jaguar's leg. The caimans nearby, startled by the sudden violence, turned as one, forming a loose barrier in the water, their bodies tensed, ready to defend their territory or seize an opportunity. The jaguar, now caught between the furious crocodile and the wary caimans, found itself in a perilous position. Its ears flattened, and it let out a low, guttural growl, water streaming from its fur. The riverbank, moments before a scene of tranquil beauty, was now charged with tension. Every animal was on edge, senses heightened, the outcome uncertain. The jaguar shifted its weight, eyes darting between the crocodile and the circling caimans. It was a rare moment where the hunter was forced to defend itself. Every muscle coiled for action. The caimans, emboldened by their numbers, began to close in, their eyes glinting with predatory intent. The crocodile, meanwhile, thrashed its tail, churning the water into froth, unwilling to yield its ground. The jaguar hissed, swiping at the nearest caiman, its claws raking the water. For every reptile it drove back, another pressed forward, jaws agape, testing the big cat's resolve. The water erupted in chaos. Splashes, snarls, and the guttural bellows of the crocodile filled the air. The jaguar twisted and turned, desperate to find an opening, its breath coming in ragged bursts. For a heartbeat, the jaguar hesitated, its eyes wide with the realization that it was outmatched. The river, once a place of opportunity, had become a deadly trap. With a surge of adrenaline, the jaguar made its decision. It gathered its strength, muscles rippling beneath its soaked fur, and prepared to make a desperate escape. In a single, explosive motion, it leapt toward the riverbank, claws digging for purchase, water spraying in all directions. The caimans surged after it, snapping their jaws, determined not to let their quarry escape so easily. One caiman lunged, its powerful jaws clamping down on the jaguar's paw, dragging it back into the swirling water. The jaguar roared, a sound of pain and fury, thrashing wildly as it fought to free itself from the reptile's iron grip. For a terrifying moment, it seemed the river would claim the jaguar, as the caimans and crocodile pressed their advantage, dragging the big cat deeper into the current. But with a final, desperate twist, the jaguar wrenched its paw free, leaving tufts of fur and droplets of blood swirling in the water. It scrambled through the shallows, heedless of dignity or stealth, driven only by the primal urge to survive. The caimans lunged at its heels, but the jaguar, battered and bleeding, finally reached the safety of the riverbank, collapsing among the tangled roots, chest heaving. The river returned to its uneasy calm, the echoes of the struggle fading into the jungle's endless chorus. The jaguar, once the hunter, had narrowly escaped becoming the hunted. This extraordinary encounter revealed the raw power and unpredictability of the wild, where even the most skilled predator can be humbled, and where the river's inhabitants, crocodile and caiman alike, are forces to be reckoned with. On the vast, sun-baked plains of Africa, beneath a sky heavy with the promise of rain, a silent drama unfolds at the edge of a muddy riverbank. Here, two of the continent's most formidable predators, the lion and the Nile crocodile, find their fates intertwined in a battle as old as time itself. The lion, regal and powerful, moves with a quiet confidence. His golden mane ripples in the breeze as he leads his pride across the savannah, every muscle tensed and ready. Lions are masters of teamwork, communicating with subtle glances and low growls, their strategy built on unity and precision. In stark contrast, the crocodile is a creature of patience and stealth, lurking just beneath the water's surface, only its eyes and nostrils visible. It waits motionless for hours, blending seamlessly with the muddy riverbank. Its strategy is one of ambush, a sudden explosive attack when the moment is right. The tension builds as the lion approaches the water's edge, his senses alert to every ripple and shadow. The crocodile, sensing the lion's presence, remains perfectly still, calculating the distance, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike or defend its territory. Suddenly, a confrontation erupts over a fresh carcass. The lion, driven by hunger and the need to provide for his pride, stands his ground. The crocodile, drawn by the scent of blood, surges from the water with terrifying speed, jaws agape, determined to claim a share of the prize. The dry season intensifies the stakes. Waterholes shrink, drawing all manner of animals and predators into close quarters. Every meal becomes a battle, every drink a risk. Imagine a pride of lions feasting on a freshly killed buffalo, their faces stained with blood, when suddenly the surface of the river breaks. A massive crocodile emerges, its armored body glistening, eyes fixed on the kill. The lions freeze, muscles coiled, as the crocodile inches closer, each step deliberate and menacing. The crocodile's strategy is intimidation. It opens its jaws wide, displaying rows of dagger-like teeth, hoping to frighten the lions into abandoning their meal. The lions, however, are not so easily cowed. They fan out, forming a protective barrier around the carcass, their eyes never leaving the reptilian intruder. The crocodile edges closer, jaws snapping shut with a thunderous crack. The air is thick with tension, neither side willing to back down, both aware that a single mistake could mean injury or death. This is a battle of nerves and willpower. The lion's tail flicks, his ears flatten, and he lets out a low, rumbling growl. The crocodile hisses, its armored tail swishing through the mud. Each predator weighs its options, searching for a sign of weakness in the other. In one unforgettable encounter, a massive male lion stood sentinel over a hippo carcass, his mane bristling with defiance. The crocodile, undeterred, crept forward, its eyes locked on the prize, its body tense and ready to lunge. The lion's strategy is clear: intimidation and dominance. He stands tall, muscles rippling, his gaze unwavering. He knows that to show fear is to invite disaster. As the crocodile draws near, the lion unleashes a thunderous roar, a sound that echoes across the plains and sends birds scattering from the trees. The roar is both a warning and a challenge, a declaration that this meal belongs to the pride. The crocodile halts, its confidence shaken by the sheer force of the lion's voice. For a moment, predator stares at predator, each measuring the other's resolve. Slowly, the crocodile begins to back away, sliding into the murky water, its eyes still fixed on the lions. The pride remains vigilant, watching until the last ripple fades, victorious for now. The outcome of these battles often depends on the terrain. On dry land, the lion holds the advantage: speed, agility, and the power of the pride. On the open savanna, lions move with confidence, their teamwork and coordination making them nearly unstoppable. When a crocodile ventures too far from the safety of water, the lions close ranks, circling and harassing the reptile, their roars and swipes forcing it onto the defensive. On land, the crocodile is slow and awkward, its powerful tail and crushing jaws far less effective without the buoyancy of water to support its weight. In rare footage, a lone crocodile finds itself surrounded by a pride of lionesses. The air crackles with tension as the lions close in, their eyes locked on the intruder. The crocodile thrashes and snaps, desperate to keep the lions at bay, but outnumbered and outmaneuvered, its only hope is to retreat, to slip back into the water, where the tables turn and the crocodile once again becomes the silent, deadly ruler of its domain. In the wild, the struggle for food is a relentless, unforgiving battle, one that often erupts into a dramatic tug-of-war between apex predators. Among the most intense rivalries is that between lions and crocodiles, each determined to claim their share of a hard-won meal. Deep in South Africa's Kruger National Park, the air is thick with tension as the sun beats down on the riverbank. Here, the drama of survival unfolds in its rawest form, witnessed by the ever-watchful eyes of the savannah. A lioness, her golden coat streaked with mud, has just claimed a chunk of fresh kill. But as she drags her prize toward the shore, the water stirs. A crocodile, ancient and armored, surges forward, jaws snapping shut on the other end of the meat. The two predators lock eyes, muscles tensed, each refusing to surrender. The carcass becomes the rope in a primal contest, a test of strength and willpower that neither is willing to lose. The lioness plants her powerful paws into the muddy earth, claws digging deep for traction. Her body ripples with effort as she leans back, every sinew straining to pull her meal away from the water's edge. The crocodile, half submerged, uses the river as its ally. Its massive tail sways, anchoring its body, while its jaws clamp down with bone-crushing force, dragging the meat and the lioness closer to the depths. The riverbank becomes a stage for this epic struggle. Water splashes, mud flies, and the air vibrates with growls and guttural hisses. Suddenly, the crocodile thrashes its head violently from side to side, a brutal tactic meant to tear flesh from bone or wrench the prize from the lioness's grip. The force of the crocodile's movement sends ripples through the water, but the lioness refuses to yield, her jaws locked and eyes blazing with determination. She tightens her hold, lips curled back in a snarl, every muscle in her body coiled like a spring. Her growls echo across the riverbank, a warning to the crocodile and a rallying cry to her pride. On the sidelines, other lions watch intently, their tails flicking, ready to leap into the fray if the balance tips. For long moments neither predator gives an inch. The carcass stretches between them, a symbol of survival and dominance. The meat, slick with blood and water, is the prize in this high-stakes contest. Each tug, each snarl, a gamble with life and death. The advantage shifts with every heartbeat. Sometimes the crocodile's weight and aquatic power pull the lioness dangerously close to the river's edge. The lioness's paws slip in the mud, her body sliding ever nearer to the water where the crocodile's true strength lies. But then, with a surge of energy, she regains her footing, hauling the meat, and herself, back towards solid ground. The crocodile's power is in its jaws and the leverage of its massive body, perfectly adapted for aquatic ambush. The lioness, meanwhile, relies on her muscular shoulders and powerful legs, built for wrestling prey to the ground and defending it from all challengers. In this moment, land and water, tooth and claw, are pitted against each other in a contest as old as time. The tension is palpable. Every muscle, every instinct, every ounce of strength is focused on the struggle for dominance. If the lioness slips even for a second, she risks being dragged into the water, where the crocodile's jaws could end the fight in an instant. But the lioness's resolve is unbreakable. With a final, explosive burst of strength, she yanks the meat free from the crocodile's grip. The crocodile, momentarily stunned, releases its hold, and the lioness stumbles backward, victorious. Defeated, the crocodile slips silently back into the river, its eyes just above the surface, watching, waiting for another chance. The lioness, chest heaving, drags her hard-won prize back to her pride, where hungry mouths await, and triumphant roars fill the air. This encounter is a vivid reminder of the delicate balance of power in the wild, where every meal is earned through courage, strength, and unyielding determination. The crocodile, a master of ambush and patience, is a formidable foe in the water. But on land, the lion's tenacity and raw power reign supreme. In the end, the king of the savannah stands tall, not just as a hunter, but as a symbol of dominance, never willing to surrender its throne or its dinner without a fight. In the wild, where the river carves its way through the sun-baked earth, the crocodile reigns as a silent, lurking menace. Yet even the most formidable crocodile knows to keep its distance when the giants of the savannah approach. To a crocodile, an adult elephant is not a rival. It's a living force of nature, a mountain of muscle and wisdom that commands respect and fear in equal measure. Towering above the riverbank, an adult elephant is a marvel of strength and intelligence. Its sheer size dwarfs even the largest crocodile, and its presence alone can send ripples of unease through the water. The crocodile, master of ambush, knows that to challenge such a titan would be folly. But the river is a place of both life and danger. While the adults stand as living fortresses, the youngest members of the herd, curious calves, are watched over with constant vigilance. The herd forms a living shield, their trunks gently guiding the little ones, their bodies a barrier against the unknown. Yet sometimes a calf strays too close to the water's edge, drawn by the promise of cool relief. In the murky shallows, a crocodile waits, its eyes just above the surface, calculating, patient. For the crocodile, a separated calf is a rare opportunity, a gamble that could bring a feast or disaster. When a crocodile dares to strike, the river explodes into chaos. The herd erupts in a thunder of trumpets and pounding feet, the air thick with dust and fury. The crocodile's jaws, so deadly in silence, now face the wrath of a united family. In these moments, the riverbank becomes a stage for primal drama. The tension is palpable. The air vibrates with the energy of survival and the unbreakable bonds of kinship. Picture a mother elephant, her massive form reflected in the shimmering water, her calf nestled close by. The herd grazes nearby, their low rumbles a song of safety and belonging. Suddenly, the water erupts. A crocodile launches itself from the depths, jaws agape, and clamps down on the mother's trunk. The attack is swift, brutal, and desperate. The mother bellows, her trumpet echoing across the plains, a sound of pain, shock, and defiance. Her calf recoils, eyes wide with terror, as the herd reacts in an instant. The trunk, so vital for drinking, breathing, and touch, is now a lifeline gripped in a deadly struggle. Every nerve in the elephant's body is alight with pain and fury. An injury here can mean a lifetime of hardship, a loss that echoes through every moment of an elephant's life. But the mother does not yield. She thrashes, stamping her feet with earth-shaking force, churning the water into a froth. Her trunk twists and pulls, her body a wall of resistance against the crocodile's iron grip. The herd surges forward, a tidal wave of grey bodies and flaring ears. Their trumpets rise in a chorus of rage and unity, the ground trembling beneath their charge. Without hesitation they rush to the water's edge, their eyes blazing with purpose. The crocodile, so bold a moment before, now faces the full fury of the herd. They form a living barricade around the mother and her calf, trumpeting and stamping, their presence a wall of defiance that no predator can breach. The crocodile, overwhelmed by the onslaught, releases its grip. It slinks away, battered and defeated, vanishing into the murky depths from which it came. The river swallows the predator, leaving only ripples and the memory of its failed attack. The herd gathers close, trunks entwined in gentle reassurance. Their bond is unbreakable, their unity forged in the fires of adversity. But sometimes the fury of an elephant is not just defensive, it is vengeful. In another encounter, an elephant, its eyes blazing with anger, confronts a crocodile that dared to threaten its kin. The crocodile tries to retreat, but the elephant is relentless, its every step a promise of retribution. With astonishing strength, the elephant seizes the crocodile by its tail, hoisting it from the water. The predator, so powerful in its own realm, is now utterly helpless, flailing in the air as the elephant slams it to the ground again and again. On land, stripped of its aquatic advantage, the crocodile is no match for the elephant's wrath. The elephant stomps and thrashes, ensuring the threat is ended, its fury a force of nature unleashed. In the aftermath, the elephant stands tall, a sentinel over its family, the defeated crocodile a stark warning to all who would threaten the herd. In the wild, the fury of an elephant is a legend written in dust, water, and the unbreakable bonds of family. Each year, as the relentless African sun beats down on the endless plains, a breathtaking drama unfolds. The Great Migration, an ancient ritual, draws over 1 million wildebeest, accompanied by zebras and gazelles, across the vast savannas of East Africa. Driven by the promise of fresh grass, and the instinct to survive, these herds move as one, a living river of hooves and horns, stretching to the horizon. The journey is long and perilous, spanning hundreds of miles. The animals press forward, their bodies caked with dust, their eyes fixed on the promise of rain-soaked pastures ahead. The air vibrates with the low grunts and snorts of thousands, each step echoing the urgency of survival. But the greatest challenge awaits at the Mara River, a formidable barrier that slices through the landscape, its muddy waters concealing untold dangers. Beneath the surface, ancient predators lie in wait. The Nile crocodiles, some as long as a grown wildebeest, have spent weeks motionless, their armored bodies blending seamlessly with the river's shadows. Patient and silent, these giants conserve their energy, knowing that soon the river will be alive with opportunity. As the first herds approach, the riverbank becomes a scene of mounting tension. The wildebeest crowd together, their bodies pressed so tightly that the air is thick with the scent of fear and anticipation. The river churns with the memories of past crossings, of those who made it and those who did not. The animals hesitate, their hooves sinking into the mud as they peer at the swirling water. Some pace nervously, nostrils flaring, ears flicking at every splash. The tension is electric, a silent question hanging in the air. Who will be the first to leap? Instinct and hunger, war with caution. The wildebeest sense the danger lurking below, but the urge to move forward, to survive, overpowers their fear. Suddenly, one bold wildebeest surges forward, plunging into the river with a desperate leap. In an instant, the dam breaks. The herd follows, a thunderous stampede of bodies crashing into the water, churning it into a frothing chaos. This is the moment the crocodiles have been waiting for. Their eyes snap open, muscles tensing beneath the surface as they glide silently into position. Using the river's current, the crocodiles drift into the deepest channels, their bodies nearly invisible beneath the murky water. They wait, patient as stone, for the perfect target to come within striking distance. Only the faintest ripple or a pair of unblinking eyes betray their presence. To the wildebeest, the river is a gauntlet of hidden death. With explosive force, a crocodile erupts from the water, jaws agape, targeting the weakest or most isolated wildebeest. The attack is sudden, a blur of muscle and teeth. The predators focus on those who falter, those separated from the herd, or those who stumble in the current. Panic spreads as the herd surges forward, desperate to escape the snapping jaws. A crocodile's jaws clamp down with bone-crushing force, seizing a leg, a neck, or a snout. The water explodes in a frenzy of thrashing limbs and splashing foam. Locked in a deadly embrace, predator and prey battle for survival. The wildebeest kicks and twists, eyes wide with terror, fighting with every ounce of strength. The river becomes a stage for this primal struggle, life and death measured in heartbeats and splashes. The crocodile's power is overwhelming. Its muscles ripple beneath thick scales as it drags its prey deeper, away from the frantic herd. With a sudden twist, the crocodile spins, performing the infamous death roll. The water churns as the wildebeest is pulled under, the struggle ending in silence beneath the surface. For some, the journey ends here, claimed by the river and its ancient hunters. Yet for many, survival is won by sheer numbers. The herd surges forward, trampling over obstacles, driven by the will to live. Exhausted and soaked, they scramble up the far bank, triumphant survivors of nature's gauntlet. In this chaos there is safety. The more that cross together, the greater the chance of survival. The river becomes a living tide of bodies, each animal's fate intertwined with the herd. But the crocodiles do not go hungry. The abundance of prey ensures that many will fall, feeding the river's most formidable predators. The water becomes a frenzy of snapping jaws and tearing flesh, a brutal feast that sustains the crocodiles for months to come. This annual crossing is more than a spectacle. It is the heartbeat of the savannah, a vital exchange that nourishes predator and prey alike, shaping the destiny of all who call this land home. Sated, the crocodiles bask on the riverbanks, their bellies full, their hunger sated for another year. The cycle of life and death continues, raw and unfiltered, a testament to the wild beauty and harsh realities of the African wilderness. Here, at the Mara River, the eternal dance between predator and prey is played out in all its savage glory. The Mara River is a stage for one of nature's most dramatic and perilous encounters. Every year, thousands of wildebeest gather at its banks, driven by instinct and the promise of greener pastures. But beneath the surface, crocodiles lie in wait, their ancient eyes fixed on the herds, ready to strike at the first sign of weakness. These wildebeest are not just prey, they are survivors, each muscle honed by the constant threat of predators. Their eyes are wide with fear, but also with determination, as they prepare to make the treacherous crossing. Suddenly the water erupts. A crocodile lunges from the depths, jaws snapping shut around the leg of a wildebeest. The river explodes into chaos as the herd scatters, but one animal is caught in a deadly embrace. The wildebeest thrashes violently, its hooves churning the muddy water. It bellows in pain and terror, but refuses to surrender. Every instinct screams for escape, and it fights with a ferocity born of desperation. In one unforgettable moment, a wildebeest finds itself trapped in the thick, sucking mud of the shallows. Its legs are pinned, unable to move, as panic surges through its body. Sensing opportunity, a crocodile surges forward, jaws clamping down on the wildebeest's snout. The predator's teeth pierce flesh, and the river seems to hold its breath as the struggle intensifies. Immobilized by the mud and the crushing grip of the crocodile, the wildebeest's world narrows to a single, agonizing fight for survival. The crocodile begins to drag its prey toward deeper water, determined to finish the hunt. The wildebeest's hooves scrape desperately at the riverbed, refusing to yield. For most, this would be the end, a silent surrender to the river and its ancient predators. But this wildebeest is different. Its spirit refuses to break, even as pain and exhaustion threaten to overwhelm it. Summoning every ounce of strength, the wildebeest braces itself, muscles quivering with effort. It digs its hooves deep into the mud, anchoring itself, and begins a desperate tug-of-war with the crocodile. The river becomes a battleground, each animal locked in a contest of raw power and will. The wildebeest's neck and shoulders strain, veins bulging as it resists the relentless pull of its attacker. Water churns and splashes, droplets flying as the two animals battle for supremacy. The air is thick with tension, every second stretching into eternity. The struggle drags on, neither side willing to give an inch. The crocodile's jaws are unyielding, but the wildebeest's resolve is even stronger. Refusing to be dragged under, the wildebeest plants itself, every muscle locked in resistance. With a sudden burst of energy, it twists and bucks, using its weight and momentum to try and break free from the crocodile's iron grip. The crocodile, caught off guard by the ferocity of its prey, struggles to maintain its hold. The balance of power shifts with every movement. Blood seeps from the wildebeest's snout, pain etched across its face, but the agony only fuels its determination. The will to survive eclipses everything else. It is a battle of wills, a primal contest between life and death, hunger and hope. For a moment, time seems to freeze. Predator and prey are locked in a tense standoff, the outcome uncertain. Then, in a surge of adrenaline, the wildebeest makes one final desperate effort. With a powerful wrench of its head, it tears its snout free from the crocodile's jaws, breaking the predator's hold at last. Wasting no time, the battered but unbroken wildebeest scrambles out of the mud, dragging itself onto the safety of the riverbank, bloodied but alive. It stands, trembling but triumphant, a living testament to the power of will and the instinct to survive. The crocodile, denied its meal, slips back into the murky water, a silent reminder that the struggle for life in the wild is never truly over. Against all odds, the wildebeest walks away, a survivor in a world where every day is a desperate fight for life. Deep within the tangled jungles of the Americas, where the river winds like a serpent through the emerald canopy, a silent shadow glides beneath the surface. Across the world, on the sun-baked savannas of Africa, the same ancient form lurks at the edge of muddy waterholes, waiting for the moment when life and death meet at the water's edge. The crocodile, unchanged in its essence for millions of years, is a living relic, a perfect predator sculpted by time itself. Its eyes, just above the water, scan for the slightest ripple, the faintest tremor of a thirsty animal approaching. Through epochs of shifting continents and vanishing species, the crocodile's design has endured, tested by the relentless challenges of survival. Its armored body and crushing jaws are the legacy of a lineage that once swam alongside dinosaurs. In the shimmering heat, it basks motionless, blending seamlessly into the mud and reeds, a master of camouflage and patience. For hours, sometimes days, it waits, motionless, a living statue, while herds gather and scatter, unaware of the danger beneath the surface. Then, in a heartbeat, the water explodes. The crocodile's ambush is a blur of muscle and teeth, a sudden eruption of ancient power that leaves little chance for escape. Wildebeest, zebras, antelope, any creature that dares to drink from the river's edge is a potential victim. The crocodile's patience is rewarded with the chaos of the hunt, its jaws snapping shut with bone-crushing force. The wild is a stage for epic confrontations. We witness the crocodile's might in battles with jaguars, who slip silently through the undergrowth, their own ancient instincts driving them to challenge the River King. Lions, too, gather at the water's edge, their golden eyes wary of the lurking danger. Sometimes the king of the savannah and the king of the river meet in a clash of claws and teeth, each testing the other's strength. Even the mighty elephant, with its towering bulk and unbreakable bonds, must be cautious. A herd can drive the crocodile back, but a lone calf straying too close may fall victim to the river's ancient ruler. These encounters reveal the crocodile's strengths, its explosive power, its impenetrable hide, its relentless grip, but also its limits. Against a pride of lions or a determined jaguar, the crocodile must sometimes yield. In the water it is nearly invincible. Its jaws snap shut with a force that can shatter bone, and its tail propels it through the murky depths with silent speed. The infamous death roll, spinning prey beneath the surface, ensures that few escape once caught. The river becomes a stage for the ultimate test of strength and endurance. But on land, the crocodile is slower, more vulnerable. Here the tables can turn, and the hunter may become the hunted. Its heavy body drags across the sand, exposed to the dangers of the open plain. Lions, sensing weakness, may attack in coordinated bursts, their teamwork overwhelming even the crocodile's formidable defenses. Jaguars, with their powerful jaws, can pierce the crocodile's armor, dragging it into the shadows of the forest. The collective might of an elephant herd is unstoppable, their trumpeting calls and massive feet forcing the crocodile to retreat. Even a single wildebeest, driven by the desperate will to survive, can sometimes break free from the crocodile's deadly grip, kicking and thrashing until the river runs red with struggle. These dramatic battles are not just displays of power, they are the heartbeat of the wild, a constant dance of predator and prey, strength and vulnerability. Every creature at the waterhole brings its own skills and weaknesses, and the crocodile's presence shapes the lives of all who share its domain. The crocodile is both feared and respected, a force that other predators must reckon with, a constant reminder of the wild's unforgiving balance. Yet, the crocodile's greatest challenges are not always other animals. Drought can shrink its watery kingdom, forcing it to compete fiercely for survival. Pollution and the loss of wetlands threaten the very rivers that have sustained these ancient predators for millennia. Still, the crocodile endures, resting among ancient trees, its scarred body a testament to the battles it has survived. It has outlasted the dinosaurs, witnessed the rise and fall of countless species, and remains a living link to a world long vanished. The future of the crocodile depends on the resilience of the wild places it calls home, and the intricate web of life that sustains it. As a keystone predator, The crocodile helps maintain the balance of its ecosystem, controlling populations of fish and mammals, ensuring that the river remains a thriving artery of life. Where crocodiles thrive, the waterways are healthy, teeming with life and diversity. The struggles we witness, prey fighting for freedom, predators clashing for dominance, are the stories of survival that have played out for millions of years. Each encounter is a thread in the vast tapestry of life, a reminder of the wild's enduring power and the ancient drama that unfolds every day. The crocodile's eyes, cold and unblinking, have seen the rise and fall of empires, the ebb and flow of rivers, the endless cycle of life and death. It is a symbol of raw, untamed power, a creature that commands the river with silent authority. Patient hunter, fearless fighter, the crocodile's story is written in every scar, every victorious ambush, every narrow escape. It is an enduring icon of the wild, a living legend whose power and presence shape the world around it. The footage of its epic battles is more than spectacle. It is a window into the relentless struggle for survival that defines the natural world. Whether emerging victorious or bearing the scars of defeat, the crocodile's spirit remains unbroken. Its presence commands awe and respect from all who share its world. Scarred, ancient, and unyielding, the crocodile is a true survivor, an ancient king whose reign endures through the ages. It rules its aquatic kingdom with timeless efficiency, a master of the hunt and a sentinel of the river. The crocodile is a living testament to the enduring power of evolution, an ancient predator whose story is forever entwined with the wild heart of our planet. In the shimmering dawn, mist floats above the surface of a winding African river. The water is still, save for the gentle ripples of a massive figure gliding just beneath. The crocodile, ancient and patient, patrols its watery realm, eyes barely breaking the surface, nostrils flaring with every silent breath. The riverbank is muddy, imprinted with the broad tracks of another river giant. The hippopotamus, a herd of hippos, stirs in the shallows, their barrel-shaped bodies half submerged, their movements deceptively slow. Despite their placid appearance, hippos are fiercely territorial, especially when the river shrinks and space is at a premium. One bull, immense and scarred from battles past, rises from the water, jaws yawning wide in a display of dominance. His deep grunts echo across the floodplain, a warning to all intruders. The crocodile senses the tension. It drifts closer, drawn by the scent of opportunity. A newborn calf, clumsy and curious, trailing at the edge of the pod. But the hippo bull is vigilant. With a sudden surge, he lunges forward, sending waves crashing against the crocodile's armored flanks. The water churns as the two titans meet. One, a relic of the dinosaur age, the other, a heavyweight herbivore with jaws that can crack bone. The crocodile snaps, jaws flashing in the morning light, but the hippo's thick hide and sheer bulk are formidable defenses. With astonishing agility, the hippo pivots, slashing with his tusks, the curved, lethal teeth that mark him as the river's true heavyweight. The crocodile is forced back, retreating beneath the surface, its powerful tail propelling it out of reach. But the confrontation is far from over. The hippo bull advances, driving the crocodile away from the herd. The water erupts in a maelstrom of splashing limbs and snapping teeth. The crocodile circles, searching for an opening, but the hippo's determination is unwavering. Each time the crocodile approaches, the hippo charges, mouth agape, displaying the pink cavern of his maw, a silent threat that speaks louder than any roar. Around them, the river's ecosystem holds its breath. Fish scatter in the wake of the struggle, birds take flight from the reeds, and even the ever-watchful herons pause to witness the drama. This is not a battle for food, but for dominance, for the right to rule the riverbank and protect the next generation. After a final, thunderous charge, the hippo bull stands victorious. The crocodile, recognizing the futility of further challenge, slips away into deeper water, its pride wounded, but its life spared. The hippos regroup, the calf nuzzling close to its mother, safe for another day. In this ancient river, power is measured not just in strength, but in resilience and resolve. The crocodile and the hippopotamus, both masters of their element, remind us that survival is a contest of patience, courage, and the will to defend what matters most. The river returns to calm, but the memory of the clash lingers, a testament to the wild, untamed spirit that flows through every living creature of this timeless land. Beneath the dense canopy of a flooded forest, the river narrows into a shadowy channel. Sunlight filters through the leaves in fractured beams, illuminating the water's surface with shifting patterns. Here in the murky silence, another formidable predator glides with barely a ripple. The crocodile, muscles coiled, senses heightened, always alert for the faintest sign of prey or rival. But tonight, a new danger lurks just below the surface. Wrapped around a gnarled tree root, a giant African rock python lies in wait, its patterned coils blending seamlessly with the dappled light and tangled debris. This serpent, one of the largest in the world, is a master of patience and ambush. Its tongue flicks, tasting the air, picking up the chemical signature of the crocodile's approach. The crocodile, unaware, closes in, intent on patrolling its territory. The water is thick with tension. Suddenly, the python strikes. With lightning speed, it launches from the shadows, jaws locking onto the crocodile's forelimb. The attack is silent, but explosive. The crocodile thrashes, its armored tail lashing the water into a frenzy, jaws snapping in a desperate bid to free itself. The python responds with primal instinct. Its massive body surges forward, looping around the crocodile's torso in a crushing embrace. Muscles constrict, each coil tightening like a vice. The crocodile's thick scales offer some protection, but the python's strength is relentless, each breathless second a test of endurance and will. Locked in combat, the water churns with violence. The crocodile, unable to use its trademark death roll, changes tactics. It heaves sideways, smashing both itself and the python against submerged roots and rocks, trying to break the serpent's grip. Mud clouds the water. Bubbles rise to the surface. Both predators are pushed to the limits of their power. The python, sensing its prey is too large to subdue, shifts tactics. It releases its bite, uncoiling with astonishing speed and slipping away into the tangled undergrowth, its camouflage rendering it almost invisible. The crocodile, battered but alive, limps to the shallows, blood seeping from shallow punctures, but victorious in survival. For both, the encounter is a brutal lesson, a reminder that in this realm, every hunter can become the hunted. As the forest returns to stillness, the river's secrets are once again hidden beneath the surface. In the timeless struggle for survival, tactics and instincts are as vital as strength. Tonight, both the crocodile and the python live to hunt another day, their deadly dance etched into the memory of the wild. As dawn breaks over the savannah, a golden haze settles upon the riverbank. The air vibrates with anticipation. From the dust-shrouded horizon, a formidable herd of African buffalo emerges, hundreds strong, horns glinting in the morning light. Driven by instinct and the promise of greener pastures, they approach the river's edge, wary eyes scanning the silent, deceptively calm water. Beneath the surface, the crocodiles wait. Ancient, patient, and perfectly still, their eyes and nostrils barely break the surface, disguised as drifting logs. Each crocodile claims a strategic position, some lurking in the deeper channels, others pressed against the muddy banks where the footing is treacherous. They sense the vibrations, the mounting tension, and prepare for the moment to strike. The matriarch of the herd steps forward, testing the water with a cautious hoof. The rest follow, driven by the relentless urge to cross. The first splashes send ripples across the river, alerting the crocodiles. The buffalo move as one, their bodies packed tightly together, a living wall of muscle and resolve. Calves are shielded in the center, flanked by the strongest adults. The herd's formation is no accident. It is a living defense against the predators below. Suddenly, chaos erupts. A massive crocodile lunges from the depths, jaws agape, targeting a young buffalo at the fringes. Instantly the herd reacts. The adults bellow and surge forward, churning the water into froth. Powerful hooves kick and trample, delivering blows that can shatter bone. The crocodile clamps down, but the buffalo's sheer force and unity make it difficult to isolate its target. Another crocodile strikes from the opposite bank, aiming for a straggler. The buffalo wheel around, horns lowered, forming a protective circle. Two more crocodiles join the fray, their attack calculated and coordinated. They target the weak, the old, and the young, any animal separated from the herd's protective mass. The river becomes a battlefield. Muddy water explodes as predators and prey collide. Some buffalo stumble, pulled under by vice-like jaws. Others break free, scrambling desperately for the far bank. The air fills with the thunder of hooves, the guttural roars of the crocodiles, and the bellows of defiance from the herd. Despite the crocodiles' fearsome tactics, the buffalo's collective strength and determination prove formidable. They rally around the fallen, driving back the attackers with relentless force. The crocodiles, sensing the tide turning, retreat into deeper water, their hunger momentarily thwarted. Exhausted but undaunted, the buffalo herd reaches the safety of the far shore. Calves are counted, wounds attended with gentle nudges, and the herd regroups, shaken but unbroken. In the river's murky depths, the crocodiles regroup as well, ever watchful, ever patient. For both predator and prey, the contest is far from over. Here, at the river's edge, every crossing is a test of courage, strategy, and survival, an ancient gauntlet that defines the wild heart of Africa. In the shimmering heat of midday, the riverbank is alive with a symphony of insects and the distant calls of birds. The mud is soft, pocked with footprints, evidence of countless visitors to these fertile shores. But today, two ancient reptiles are drawn here by more than just thirst. A massive Nile crocodile basks near the water's edge, its armored body blending seamlessly with the cracked earth and tangled roots. Its eyes, golden and unblinking, scan the landscape with predatory intent. The crocodile's breathing is slow and deliberate. Each exhale barely stirs the dust. Suddenly, a new presence disturbs the stillness. A giant monitor lizard, nearly 5 feet long, emerges from the undergrowth. Its tongue flicks rapidly, tasting the air, sensing both opportunity and danger. The lizard's scales glisten in the sun, shifting from olive to bronze as it moves with serpentine grace. It is here to scavenge, drawn by the scent of a recent crocodile kill. A half-eaten fish, left carelessly near the waterline. The monitor lizard approaches cautiously, each step measured. It knows the risk. The crocodile, though appearing indifferent, is keenly aware of its visitor. A silent standoff unfolds, the lizard pausing, head raised, eyes locked with the crocodile's. For a moment, time seems to stop. The lizard inches closer, tongue flicking, testing the crocodile's resolve. The crocodile responds with a low guttural hiss, its massive tail twitching in warning. The lizard freezes, body pressed low against the ground, ready to bolt at the slightest hint of aggression. But hunger overcomes fear. With a burst of speed, the lizard darts forward, snatching a scrap of fish in its jaws. The crocodile snaps its head around, jaws clamping shut with a resonant crack, missing the lizard by mere inches. The monitor lizard tumbles backward, tail lashing but does not flee. Instead, it circles warily, searching for another opening. The crocodile, now fully alert, lifts its body off the mud, muscles tense beneath its armored hide. The two reptiles engage in a silent, primal dance, each testing the other's limits, neither willing to give ground. For several tense minutes, this duel of patience and nerve continues. The lizard, agile and relentless, snatches another morsel and sprints for the safety of a nearby log. The crocodile lunges again, but the lizard is already gone, melting into the tangled roots. As the dust settles, the crocodile lowers itself back into the mud, eyes narrowed, hunger unfulfilled. The monitor lizard, panting, waits in the shadows, watchful, victorious for now. On this wild riverbank, Every encounter is a test of wits, adaptability, and survival. In the eternal contest between predator and opportunist, the line between hunter and hunted is razor thin, and the struggle for existence continues undisturbed by human eyes. At dawn, the river wears a veil of mist, its surface glassy and unreadable. Along the muddy banks, the reeds stand tall, silent sentinels concealing secrets from the night. The hush is broken only by the soft rustle of hooves. A small herd of antelope, lean and wary, emerges from the brush. Their coats gleam gold in the early light, muscles taut with anticipation. Driven by thirst, they approach the water's edge, each step measured, every ear flicking at the faintest sound. They know the dangers that lurk beneath. Instinct and memory warn them. The river gives life, but it also takes it away. The lead antelope, an old doe with scars on her flanks, sniffs the air, her eyes scanning the shadows. The herd hesitates, clustered tightly, nostrils flaring as they sense the weight of unseen eyes. Beneath the surface, crocodiles wait in absolute stillness. Only their nostrils and eyes break the waterline, camouflaged among floating debris and shifting reflections. Their patience is legendary, sometimes hours, sometimes longer, until the moment is right. One young antelope, trembling with thirst, steps forward. Her hooves disturb the mud, sending ripples across the calm. The others follow, lowering their heads to drink, muscles coiled for flight. The tension is palpable, the riverbank charged with the electric energy of impending danger. Suddenly, the water erupts. A massive crocodile lunges upward, jaws agape, targeting the youngest antelope. The herd scatters in a blur of motion, hooves pounding, water spraying into the air. The crocodile's teeth clamp down, but the antelope twists, kicking desperately. For a split second, predator and prey are locked in a desperate struggle, one fighting for a meal, the other for its life. A second crocodile surges from the reeds, aiming for another target. Panic spreads. The old doe leaps clear, but not all are so lucky. In the chaos, the river claims its due. The victorious crocodile drags its prize beneath the surface, water swirling with the violence of the hunt. As silence returns, the surviving antelope regroup, hearts racing, eyes wide. They have learned, again, the cost of survival at the water's edge. The crocodiles, ancient and implacable, vanish into the depths, ready to wait once more. Here in the wild, every sip of water is a gamble. Every shadow in the reeds could mean life or death. And the eternal dance between predator and prey continues, as it has for millennia, beneath the indifferent gaze of the rising sun. As the morning haze lifts, the drama of the river is far from over. In the tangled, sun-dappled grass beyond the water's edge, a pack of African wild dogs emerges, ears twitching, eyes gleaming with hunger and cunning. Their lean bodies move in perfect unison, each step silent, coordinated, and precise. They have scented blood, and with it, opportunity. The crocodile, still basking in the shallows with its recent kill, a young antelope, guards its prize. Powerful jaws clamp down on the carcass, nostrils just above the surface, eyes swiveling to monitor the restless shore. The dogs fan out, their patchwork coats blending into the gold and green of the floodplain. They do not fear the river. They are opportunists, masters of teamwork and daring. The alpha female leads the approach, hackles raised, her gaze fixed on the crocodile's feast. The rest of the pack forms a loose semicircle, each member poised for the signal to strike. The air is thick with tension. Every bird has fallen silent, every insect stilled by the anticipation of conflict. With a sudden high yip, the lead dog charges forward, snapping at the crocodile's tail. The great reptile thrashes, jaws opening in warning, but the pack is relentless. Another dog darts in from the side, teeth bared, tugging at the antelope's hind leg. Water churns, spraying mud and foam as predator meets predator in a contest of raw nerve. The crocodile lashes out, jaws clamping down with bone-crushing force, but the wild dogs are too quick, dodging away, regrouping and circling back. They snarl and snap, taking turns to harass and distract, each attack more daring than the last. The pack's strategy is clear. tire the crocodile, divide its focus, and snatch a reward. Minutes pass in a frenzy of motion and sound. The crocodile, massive but outnumbered, begins to tire. Its grip on the antelope loosens just for a heartbeat. That's all the wild dogs need. With a coordinated surge, 3 dogs seize the carcass, dragging it toward the shallows where the river meets the mud. The crocodile lunges, but the pack scatters, some retreating with scraps of flesh, others regrouping for another assault. A tense standoff ensues, broken only by the triumphant yips of the wild dogs as they claim a portion of the prize. The crocodile, sullen and defeated, slips back into deeper water, vanishing beneath the ripples. In the end, the floodplain is quiet once more. The wild dogs feast, tails wagging, eyes bright with victory. The river, ever watchful, keeps its secrets. In this ancient rivalry, there are no certainties, only the relentless struggle for survival, and the fleeting moments when the boldest claim their share. Here, on the edge of water and wild, every victory is hard won, and every meal a testament to the cunning and courage of those who dare to challenge the king of the river. As dusk settles over the riverbank, the world transforms into a shifting mosaic of shadow and silver. The air grows thick and cool, carrying the scent of mud, decaying reeds, and something coppery, fresh blood. The carcass of a fallen zebra lies half-submerged at the water's edge, claimed by a trio of crocodiles whose armored backs glisten in the fading light. They feed in silence, jaws working methodically, eyes half-lidded and ancient. But the peace is deceptive. In the distance, a chorus of whoops and cackles swells, a sound that chills even the most seasoned predators. Spotted hyenas emerge from the gloom, their mottled coats blending with the patchwork of moonlight and shadow. They move with a loping gait, shoulders hunched, noses lifted to catch the promise of a meal. The matriarch leads, larger and bolder than the rest, her yellow eyes burning with resolve. The crocodiles sense the approach. One lifts its head, blood dripping from its jaws, and utters a guttural hiss. The hyenas hesitate, then fan out, forming a loose crescent around the carcass. Their ears flick, picking up every splash, every grunt from the river. The youngest hyena tests the boundary, edging closer, lips curled in anticipation. Suddenly, the matriarch surges forward, snapping her jaws inches from the nearest crocodile's tail. The reptile whips around, water exploding in a spray of droplets, but the hyena is already gone, circling back with a derisive cackle. The rest of the clan joins in, harassing from all sides, darting in, feinting, retreating. Their tactics are bold but calculated, designed to test the patience and resolve of the river's ancient guardians. The crocodiles respond with brute force. One clamps down on a haunch of the zebra, anchoring its massive body in the mud, while another swings its tail in a wide arc, forcing the hyenas to scatter. But the clan is relentless. They work together, exploiting every moment of distraction, nipping at exposed flanks, lunging for scraps that drift into the shallows. The standoff escalates, growls and hisses intertwine with the slap of water and the crunch of bone. For every advance there is a retreat, for every bite a counter-attack. The riverbank becomes a stage for primal rivalry where patience and ferocity are tested in equal measure. Gradually, fatigue sets in. The crocodiles, sluggish from their meal and the chill of night, begin to withdraw, dragging the bulk of the carcass deeper into the water. But the hyenas are not deterred. With a final, coordinated push, they snatch a bloodied limb, retreating triumphantly into the grass, jaws stained red. Silence returns, broken only by the distant call of an owl and the faint ripple of the current. The carcass is diminished, the victors uncertain. Here, under the indifferent gaze of the moon, the eternal contest for survival plays out once more, each creature guided by hunger, cunning, and the unyielding laws of the wild.